Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be part 2 of my 2022 makeup inventory. In this video, we will be covering everything bronzer, highlight, and blush, all the way down to my face palettes. So much blush, so much blush. That's all I can say. There have been some exciting shifts, but for the most part, we're getting into the inventory where there aren't a lot of changes happening. It's hard to finish any one of these products and it takes a long time. So there's not a lot of change, but there's a couple of big things that happened in 2021 and I'm really excited about it. So thank you as always for tuning in to watch this video. I do appreciate it, and let's get into it. All right, this has already been filmed, but I realized that I needed to refilm this because there has been a huge change to my cream bronzer category. Sadly, the huge change is not that this is leaving my inventory just yet. This remains for one more year. Obviously, it should be gone very, very, very soon, but it's not yet. This is my Laura Geller bronzer. I've had this for years. I have put this in a project to work on next as soon as that's gone. This is a cream bronzer stick that's basically untouched. This is a cream bronzer stick that is untouched. And this is a cream bronzer from Mascara Beauty. What's changed is this guy. This is my Dose of Colors More Creamer Please lipstick. I've had it in my Project 10 uses for quite a while. And I've been trying really hard to wear this as a lipstick and it just doesn't look good on me. And at my last month's update, somebody suggested I try this as a cream bronzer, and guess what? It's amazing. It is amazing as a cream bronzer. I've been wearing it every single day. I need to get back to that, but I'm trying to get my 10 uses in on this as well. And I found a way to make this work. Look at that. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful cream bronzer. For as much as I hate it on my lips, I love it on the rest of my face. So I am officially moving this lipstick to my cream bronzer category, and I'm taking it out of my lipstick category. I am a little bummed that this category is now going up from 5 to 6. However, in relationship to every other makeup category I have, I think this is my lowest category out of all of them. So I guess if something had to move into any category, this is the one, because this is the category I have the least of. So yeah, I'm just really happy to have found a way to use this lipstick. It just wasn't working on my lips, so I'm really excited to be able to use that as a cream bronzer. So we have gone from 5 to 6, but I did not buy any bronzers. I just moved a lipstick into this category. And now I have one less lipstick, so that's good. Okay, now we're on to my powder bronzers. These are not all of my bronzers. These are just my depotted bronzers. Oh, I have so many bronzers. I have so many of everything. And sadly, this category didn't change at all last year either. I had 7 last year. I have 7 this year. I haven't bought any, but I haven't finished any. So these are the exact same 7. I would love to finish off this Too Faced bronzer that looks to be, I don't know, maybe a third, half of the way finished. And this is one of my all-time favorite bronzers ever. It's got a lot of red to it. I love that. But yeah, we're still at 7 for this year's inventory. Okay, this inventory is my bronzer singles. I had 24 bronzers last year. I didn't actually use any up, unfortunately. I worked almost all year long on this butter bronzer, and it's getting there, but it is not gone yet. I did give one bronzer away last year. It was a little small Lorac Tantalizer. That is my friend Jamie's favorite bronzer in the world, so I gave it to her. But I had 2 new bronzers come in last year as well. These were both gifted to me by my friend Elizabeth. So this number actually has gone up to 25. And I didn't finish any, and I didn't buy any. But 1 went out and 2 came in. So this category is now at 25. I do think I should be able to finish this off this year finally. I can still smell it, even though there's such little powder left, it still smells so good. And I wouldn't repurchase that as much as I like the smell. It's not a good color shade. Maybe I would buy it in a different color, but not that color. That's just the original bronzer shade. But yes, plenty of bronzers to use up before I need to think about purchasing a bronzer. Here we have my loose bronzers. This category has been at 3 for years, like forever. And it went up to 4 this year. That is because I received this Laura Mercier powder. I think it was through Influenster, but it may have been through Octley. I'm pretty sure it was Influenster. But this guy came in this year, so this category actually went up by 1, shockingly. I have decided to put this littlest of bronzers into a project this year. This is Warmth. This is also Warmth. They are the same thing. And then this is a Mary Kay bronzer, and this is, of course, Laura Mercier. So this little bronzer has decided to go into, so this little bronzer has gone into a brand new project I just started this week called Let's Get Loose. So hopefully, maybe, I could pan this year and get back down to 3. I don't know, we'll see. And of course, I still have my little black book of bronzers. I've had this palette forever, and basically until this year it has never been used much. I did put this bronzer into my 50 Shades of Purple project last April, and I hadn't been working on it much because I was working on that butter bronzer, but now I am starting to work on it for this year. So just since January I've been working on this bronzer a little bit. There's some dirt on the packaging that wasn't there before, but I don't think this bronzer is going to be as easy to hit pan on as I'd hoped. It is a beautiful shade, and I'm really enjoying it though. More than I expected. Okay, we are moving on to the highlighter department. These are my highlighter sticks. These are all cream highlighters. I have more cream highlighters, but these are just the stick form highlighters. And we are at 8 again for this year. It's been 8 for quite a while, a couple of years. I am currently working on this one right here. This is from Josie Moran, and I've been making some good progress on it the last 4 months. I do think I'll be able to finish it off this year. And this is not a category I plan to invest in any longer. I would kind of like to eliminate highlighting sticks altogether, I think. At least for now. I haven't found one that has wowed me enough to want to go with highlighting sticks over like the pans of highlighting. Like, I think I prefer like a pan of cream highlighter versus a stick. I don't know. But for now, we're still at 8. And I am working on this one right here. I didn't finish any. I didn't buy any. These are the same 8 from last year. Alright, I'm kind of excited about this category. These are all of my liquid illuminators. I've had way too many of these for many, many years, and I've been actively working to get these numbers down. And I'm really happy to report that for the first time since doing my inventory, I am under 20. I am at 19 now. I had 23 last year, so I used up 4 of these. I'm so happy with that. At one point, I had as many as 29. So it's been going down. Some of these are going to take a while. Some of these have a lot of product in them. I've been tackling a lot of these little ones to get my numbers down. But either way, I'm down to 19. I am not currently working on any one of these, but I do need to start working on one. I did just recently have this one in Project 10 Uses, and I need to find a more long-term project for one of these to finish them off, but I don't know which project it's going to go in, and I don't know which one I'm going to choose. So I will know within the next week or two as some new projects roll out, but so far I'm so happy to be at 19, and I'm so happy to be getting this number down. Okay, here are my cream highlighters that are not in a stick. Most of them are in pans. I think all of them are in pans. I had 19 last year and I have 19 this year, but I am kind of excited about this inventory. I did finish one. That was my ColourPop lunch money, which I finished last year. I have another backup of ColourPop lunch money right here. But I decided to move this Almay Duo into this part of my inventory because, as you can tell, it's kind of just a highlighter single now. It's not really a duo anymore. So I decided to take that out of my face palette inventory and move it into this inventory. Currently I'm working on a highlighting stick, and I do have this Stila highlighter in a project in my 50 Shades of Purple project. I haven't been using it. I haven't been using it that consistently. And my goal is to hit pan, so we'll see about that. But once I finish my highlighting stick, I do think I'll come back over here and shop my stash here for my next cream highlighter. I might go back to this one and just finish this one off. Or I might pick one of these two. These three are definitely like the oldest. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I will cross that bridge when I get to it. But I am super excited to have finished ColourPop's lunch money and to have finished this cream blush, so I can now move this into this part of my inventory. So we are at 19. Okay, we are moving on to my inventory of loose highlighting powders. There hasn't been any change here. I was at 9 last year, and these are the same 9 I still have. The only major change is that one of these, I think it's this one. Uh-oh, did I forget? Nope. I think it's this one. I think is now in a project, in my Let's Get Loose project. So I am going to be trying to pan this highlighter this year. But other than that, we are at the same place we were last year for this category. And really, I don't think I used any of these this past year. I don't think so. Okay, this is my inventory of highlighter singles or highlighter compacts. I am up to 53. I remember 3 years ago, I hit 50 in this category, and I distinctly said, that is more than enough highlighters. I do not want this category to go up anymore. 50 is more than enough. And since then, this category has gone up by 1 every year. The newest addition is, of course, this Laura Geller highlight in 01. I am a huge fan of this highlight. Did I need it? Obviously not, but I saw it at my local TJ Maxx, and I had a moment of weakness. I do still have a sample of Laura Geller highlight in 01, so that only makes it even worse. I should be finishing this up this year, hopefully. I'm also working on these 2 highlighters in my 50 Shades of Purple. I am really happy that I had a chance to play with a lot of these different highlighters throughout the year, either through Project 10 Uses or my dust collectors Get Ready With Me. It was really fun to get to refamiliarize myself with a lot of these highlighters or try some of them for the first time ever. So yeah, we are at 53. I did not use any up, and 1 new one came in again. Okay, this is my inventory of highlighter palettes. There's been no change here. I had 11 last year. I have 11 this year. I have not used any up. I'm a little scared to even think about the concept of using up an entire highlighter palette, considering I can barely finish a deluxe sample of a highlighter. 5 years ago, 5 years ago, I didn't have any highlighter palettes. And in 1 year, I bought 10. In 1 year, 10 highlighter palettes came into my life. So I've had 10 for a long time, and then a couple years ago, this one was gifted to me by a very kind subscriber and friend. So that's how I ended up with 11. I would like to find projects to put these into this year, but as of right now, I don't have any plans for any of these to be in a project. We'll see what happens as the year progresses. But for now, we're still at 11. Out of all of these highlighting palettes, 2 of them have cream highlighters in them. The Sleek one has 1 cream highlight, and this Cover FX one has 1 cream highlight. So I would like to prioritize these 2 palettes over the rest of them. But we'll see, guys. We will see. So this is my inventory of highlighter palettes. Okay, here is my inventory of depotted blushes. These blushes alone are probably enough to last me a lifetime or 2. This is just the tip of the iceberg, you guys. We're just getting started here. I had 52 last year. I have 52 this year. There's been 0 changes to this category. I don't think I worked on any of these last year at all. I would love to. I would love to work on these. I would love to get these numbers down. However, this year in particular, I have put a loose blush, loose powder blush in a project, and I want to give that a good go at trying to finish. And so I don't want to bring in too many blushes. If it wasn't for that, I would totally pull one of these in, but I really want to focus on that loose blush and make sure I get that out this year. And if I can do that before the end of the year, I will maybe choose one of these. I don't know. I'd love to get a single out too. Anyways, I have put myself on a strict freeze of depotting. I really went crazy when I learned that something called magnetic palettes existed and that I could save a lot of space, and I went kind of crazy, and it was a lot of fun. But I have banned myself from any future depotting until I use up some of these products first. And then of course, some of these I purchased as they are already depotted. But yeah, a lot of these came from compacts and palettes, and I pulled them out. So we'll see if I can get around to working on any of these this year, but for now, there's no plans for any of these. This is my inventory of loose powder blushes. We were at 14 last year, and we are at 14 this year. There's been no change to this category whatsoever. The big news with this category is that I have decided to put this tiniest of containers into my Let's Get Loose project pan for this year. This is True Beauty. So I will be trying to get this number down by 1 finally. It's been a minute. I've been at 14 for 2 years. Well, yeah, 2 years now I've been at 14. So time to get this number down by 1 once more and get down to lucky number 13 for this category. Wish me luck. But yeah, we're still at 14 for now. I've mentioned this before, but this is a container filled with many broken blushes over the years. It's weird, I know. The rest of these are what they say they are. Here are all of my cream blushes. So many cream blushes. I had 46 last year, and this year I have 47. I promise I did not buy any new cream blushes. I am on a strict no buy for cream blushes, but look who's moved into my cream blush category. This is my Maybelline Master Camo Concealer in Apricot, I think it was called. And I have not been able to make this work as a concealer ever. It's just way too dark for my skin tone. I don't know why I bought it. I saw somebody on some Instagram clip demoing how she uses it, and I thought, oh, that's awesome. No, it's way too dark for me. The amount of concealer that I have to put on top of this to cover this up is more work than covering up my dark circles. It's just a no-go for me. But this year I did try it out as a cream blush at the recommendation of several of you, and it works great. So it is now a cream blush. It's no longer a concealer. And even though that means this category went up by 1, I'm happier knowing that this has a home to be in and a way to get used up. So I'm not upset by this. I do want these numbers to go down drastically. This is way too many, and if by some miracle I should one day finish all of these cream blushes, I don't think I would purchase another one because I probably have 200 lipsticks or so that I could use as a cream blush. So lesson learned. I love to apply a cream blush, but I don't need all of these cream blushes. This is completely obscene. Currently, I am working on this one right here. This is from Seraphine Botanicals, and I think, even though this isn't a project that ends in a few weeks, I think I'm going to keep working on this throughout this year and try to finish this one off. I have been enjoying it. I'm guessing this little guy on his own might take me all year to finish, but if I can finish this, I might go back to this Maybelline Dream Bouncy blush. This was something I panned a few years ago, and I made some really good progress on it. I probably used about half of it, and unfortunately it's another one with broken packaging, so it's become a bit of a liability. See? And so I think I want to get this on out, because look at what keeps happening. It keeps getting dinged and dented because the cap keeps hitting it. So I think I'm ready to get back to this and to just finish this off next. I did finish a cream blush last year. It's just not from this category. It was from my face palettes category, so I'll be talking about that in a minute. But yeah, I didn't finish any from this category last year, so hopefully this number will go down for next year's inventory, at least by one. This is the part of the inventory where the train starts falling off the tracks, you guys. This is the next part of my blush inventory. We're not done after this, there's more. But these are just my matte blushes. I had 44 last year and I have 44 this year. I haven't bought any, I haven't used any up, and I haven't actually worked on any of these, sadly. I did include some in various get ready with me's throughout the year, so that's good. But there are just too many blushes. And if you asked me which one I'd want to get rid of, I couldn't tell you, because I love them all. Love all of them, but I have too many. And I do know that. I did mention that I wanted to start working on some of these blush singles. I don't know if I'm going to get around to it this year. After I said that, I put a loose blush in a project, and so now I'm working on that. But this is one that I had in mind. This is a deluxe sample from Clinique that's already been used some. Maybe that wouldn't be impossible to pan within a relatively short amount of time. This one's another contender. It's pretty small. I'd probably have to repress it into another pan that's more easily accessible. But those are two blushes from this category that I am thinking about putting in a project soon-ish to pan and get these and to start getting these numbers down a little. I would also love to pan Tarte Party. This is a great color. I've used it a time or two. A bunch of people have panned it. We all got it for a Sephora birthday gift one year. So we all had it. Yeah, so we're at 44. All right, here are my pink glowy blushes. I do prefer a peachy blush these days to a pinky blush, but I like all of these very much and they're all good. I do tend to pull warm with a lot of my blushes because I use a lot of bronzer, so even if I put one of these pinky blushes on, they tend to look peachy anyways. But I had 17 last year and I have 17 this year. I have not used any up. I have not bought any. There have been 0 changes to this category in the past year. Okay, this is the last category of my blush singles. We're still not done with blushes, but this is the last category of my blush singles. These are my warmer, glowy blushes. That might be peachy blushes or neutral or bronzy, anything that falls into that category, which is why there are so dang many of them. I was at 62 last year. Oh, there goes Kitty. I was at 62 last year and I am at 61 this year. I did not use any up, but the Anna Sui powder that I moved into my face powder category in yesterday's video was in this category previously. So thankfully, miraculously, this category did go down by 1, but not due to use up. I am currently working on this one in a project, but none of these other blushes are currently being worked on. Again, when I think of singles that I would like to finish off relatively quickly, this one jumps to mind. This Clinique Deluxe sample is about half gone, and it's just a, peachy shade, easy to wear. Yeah. So many blushes, so little time. Okay, these are my blush palettes. Every product in these palettes are all blush. Whew. I had 6 last year. I have 6 this year. I haven't finished any. No new ones have come in. I have spent a good chunk of the past year working on one shade in that palette. Kind of a deep mauve-y, rosy shade. I think you guys know that this palette has been on my mind for years now. This is all cream products. It's considered a cheek and lip palette, but most of them would be used as cream blush. I don't know if I will get to this year or not, but I would love to. I've been meaning to get to that for a few years. And then this Becca one's kind of been calling my name. I've had this for a while and it's pretty much untouched. Looks like maybe I've used it a couple of times, but it's basically brand new. So I would love to incorporate that into a project this year. But we will see. I don't think this is in a project anymore. This is the one that I was working on for a good chunk of the year. Got some good sized pan showing. Still a long way to go before I finish it, but I don't think it's in a project right now. I gotta double check on that. I've said this already, but I'm really focusing on a loose powder blush as well as the eyeshadows in my Pan That palette that can be used as blush right now. So we're still at 6. Okay, this is the final category for this part of my inventory. These are all of my face palettes, basically any combination of 2 or more different face products such as setting powder, bronzer, blush, highlight in a palette is what this category is. This is possibly my most exciting post out of this whole video. I'm not sure. I'm really excited about this one. I was at 26 last year. I had 26 face palettes, and this year I'm down to 24. This category went down by 2, which makes me so happy. One of those palettes was a Too Faced no filter selfie powder palette that had 3 different setting powders, and the other palette is that duo from Almay that was half cream highlight and half cream blush, and after I finished the cream blush I moved that palette to my highlighting section, so that's no longer in here either. I did also finish one full powder out of this Hourglass palette in 2021. That guy right there. So overall, I consider my progress in this section to be really good. I'm really happy. This is still way too many. I know, still way too many, but I'm happy it went down by 2. Currently, I am working on my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'm working on the 2 shades that have pan. Those are my current faves for setting my under eye concealer. And I'm also working on this Bare Minerals duo as an all over setting powder. So I'm going to keep working on those throughout the year and hopefully make some progress on those. But other than that, I don't have any plans at the moment to put any of these into a project. I would love to, but I have too much going on in other categories right now. All right, guys, that is it for this part of my inventory. I will meet you back here tomorrow. We will be starting on eyes. Oh boy. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.